The night sky over Tamaulipas flickers with lightning, but it's not a storm. It's surveillance drones. Mexican Marines move through the jungle in silence, boots sinking into mud, radios whispering static. They've tracked the signal for weeks, a pulse of encrypted chatter bouncing between towers hidden deep in cartel territory. Now, it's alive in their ears. Move the convoy. They know. Somewhere ahead, a generator hums. Screens glow inside a shack wired with antennas and laptops. On those screens, blinking dots, the Marines themselves, being watched from above. The soldiers breach. Shots. Sparks. A drone crashes into the trees, still recording. Inside, they find the unthinkable, a fully operational cyber command center, built by a drug cartel. How did cocaine traffickers become hackers capable of outsmarting entire governments? To understand this, you have to go back to the late 2000s, when Mexico's war on drugs was transforming into something darker, something digital. The cartels weren't just gangs anymore, they were multinational empires. The Sinaloa, the Zetas, the Jalisco New Generation. They owned cities, politicians, and airstrips. But one weakness remained: information. Federal forces, aided by the US, began using encrypted radios, drones, and surveillance to track shipments worth billions. The cartels needed eyes and ears that could match the military. So they did something no one expected. They hired hackers, radio engineers, telecom technicians, ex-government IT workers, men who could build entire networks out of nothing. And soon, hidden deep in the Mexican mountains, antennas began to rise, silent towers powered by solar panels, relaying encrypted messages across hundreds of miles. The drug war had gone wireless. The first signs appeared in 2010. Police patrols would roll out on operations, and somehow, the cartels were already gone. Convoys vanished minutes before raids. Ambushes waited at secret checkpoints. It was as if someone inside the military was leaking intel, but it wasn't a mole. It was a machine. Across northern Mexico, cartel engineers had built what investigators later called the invisible web. Thousands of radios, relays, and encrypted channels linked lookouts, smugglers, and bosses across entire states. The Zetas were pioneers, a cartel born from ex-special forces soldiers who thought like a military. They built private cell towers, sometimes disguised as farm silos or water tanks. They used UHF frequencies to avoid detection and custom voice encryption so advanced that even federal cyber units struggled to break it. In one raid, Marines found a radio repeater hidden inside a church bell tower, powered by a car battery. From there, messages spread across the desert, whispers carried through static, guiding convoys of cocaine and cash. For years, it worked flawlessly. Police scanners heard nothing. Military satellites saw nothing. But inside government offices in Mexico City, a few digital forensics agents were beginning to notice strange, repeating signals, ghost frequencies that moved like living things. They didn't know it yet, but they were listening to the heartbeat of the cartel's private internet. By 2012, the war on the ground had shifted to the skies. The cartels had a new obsession: drones. At first, they were toys, store-bought quadcopters fitted with GoPro cameras. But soon, those toys turned into weapons and couriers. Smugglers realized they could fly across the US border undetected, carrying bundles of cocaine the size of footballs. Then came custom-built hexacopters, industrial machines capable of hauling 10 to 20 kilograms per flight. GPS-guided, pre-programmed, silent at night. Behind them were the same hackers who built the radio networks, only now, they were writing code. They learned to spoof GPS signals, jam radar, and hijack police drones midair. In some cases, cartel coders intercepted live drone feeds from US surveillance teams, watching the watchers. One hacker, arrested in Monterrey, confessed he'd been paid $5,000 a week to keep the cartel's fleet invisible. His laptop contained flight scripts, satellite imagery, and military comm intercepts labeled Federals. The DA later called it the first true case of cyber-enabled drug trafficking. But it wasn't just about smuggling. The drones became eyes in the sky. They monitored police checkpoints, tracked rival convoys, and even dropped grenades on safe houses. Every code, every flight path, every encrypted frequency, it was warfare disguised as logistics. And for years, no one outside the cartel even knew it existed. It all came crashing down one humid night in 2011, deep in the jungle outside Veracruz. Acting on a tip, Mexican Marines surrounded a small compound powered by solar panels and guarded by armed men. The place looked ordinary until they went inside. Rows of servers, humming in the dark. Screens filled with maps and encrypted chat logs. Dozens of radios, each tuned to different frequencies. It wasn't a drug lab. It was a data center. When forensic teams arrived, they realized what they'd found: the nerve hub of a cartel cyber network stretching across multiple states. The system logged military convoys, tracked police chatter, and even stored recordings of pilots talking over encrypted channels. A notebook recovered from the scene listed active drones and targets. Another page contained diagrams of signal towers marked with small crosses, some built inside villages, others near military bases. Investigators pieced it together. The cartel wasn't reacting to police moves, they were predicting them. Each message relayed through their encrypted towers gave traffickers a 10-minute lead. 10 minutes meant a billion-dollar shipment could disappear into thin air. As soldiers hauled away the equipment, one officer said quietly, "They were ahead of us." Not just in firepower and knowledge. For the first time, authorities saw the cartel not as criminals with guns, but as a military with servers, and they realized the war they were fighting wasn't just on the ground anymore. It was in the spectrum, invisible, silent, and everywhere. The raid should have ended it. But when the Marines seized that jungle command center, they discovered only a fraction of the network. Backup servers in other states reactivated within days. The system was self-healing, spreading like code through radio waves. Even after major arrests, the encrypted channels kept buzzing. Some frequencies went dark for a week, then flared to life again, controlled by new voices, new cartels, same playbook. Authorities soon realized the truth: the hackers were freelancers, selling their skills to whoever paid most. When one cartel fell, another hired them. By 2015, the tactics had evolved. Drones weren't just couriers anymore, they were watchdogs. Hovering above safe houses, relaying live video feeds to cartel apps, coded with military precision. Some groups used facial recognition, powered by open-source software, to identify police units before raids. In a single decade, organized crime had learned to weaponize the same tools used by global militaries: encryption, automation, surveillance. Governments tried to keep up, launching joint cyber task forces with the US, but they were chasing shadows. For every radio tower dismantled, another was built. For every server seized, data appeared on new drives. Even today, Mexican authorities admit, we never fully shut it down. The digital cartels had proven a terrifying truth, that in the 21st century, power doesn't just flow through guns or cash, but through code. And somewhere, under the cover of static and sky, a drone still hums across the border, its signal encrypted, its pilot unseen, carrying more than just cocaine. It carries a message. The future of crime is already here.